Alright, hello everyone. Welcome back to another art video. Um, Today I'm going to be drawing, or I already kind of drew him, but I like to do like these pre-draws or sketches so I actually have just a little more time and the videos won't be as long and it just saves me kind of some energy and all that. But I'm going to be finishing, or like, just drawing him in general today. I'm drawing Stalker, that one character I was talking about in my previous art video. The thing with this character is that he doesn't have, like, I don't know his lore or anything. I just know he was a very interesting character that kind of spawned from nowhere. He technically does have lore. I just don't know what it is yet. It's something I have to ask my brother, but I know like bits about it. But I just want to draw him today because it's pretty cool. I used him a couple times. He doesn't really have a huge backstory, but I don't mind explaining him. Got my cheese puffs, so I have like the snack of champions, 2 Capri Suns and some goddamn cheese puffs. So, anyways, I'm gonna be drawing him. Let me play my OST as well. That's better. My headphones are also being goofy. Hang on. Well, my hair is being goofy because I just showered, so it's gonna be all over the place. All right. I also have this Sharpie, so if I do want to outline him, maybe, I don't know. We'll see how far we get. But I'm just going to start drawing him. I also need to bring up more topics to talk about. I also need Caprician. I don't know what I could talk about. Maybe I'll just talk about work, how that's going, because I do also have an actual job. So maybe I'll talk about that. Yeah, I think it'd be a good talking point. Yum. Got the Mario Kart World Capri Sun. Hell yeah. I don't play the game, but So Nino does. Anyways, I'm gonna get straight to drawing. It's mostly finished, but I'm gonna add a lot more detail when I'm done. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about this guy, and then if I run out of ideas for that, I'll talk about my job if I'm not done drawing him by then. So, Stalker, I think I first drew him because in the basement, when we were drawing characters and all that, there was moments where our comics would like dry out, and so we would run out of ideas or wouldn't have cool enough characters. And it wasn't too often. It happened maybe 5 times. No, well, I would say a lot more than 5 times, but I think, yeah, we would have these moments where we were like, well, I'm just gonna brainstorm some random, like totally random, because we kind of made these characters all by ourselves, so it was really difficult to brainstorm a whole new character with backstory and all that. And so I think one time when I was very bored, I remember just because the thing is, it was weird the way it worked. I couldn't just make a character and have it be in Gavin or my Doomsday's corporation. So if I drew a character and said, "Yep, that's part of Doomsday's corporation now. He's in there with Doomsday and the other people," that wasn't allowed because then we would have infinite characters. So it was actually up to my brother to accept if he liked the character enough to be put as a member of his Doomsday's corporations, which is his character's corporation, and that went with all of ours. That went with all of our things. So my original Hell House only accepted demons and all that, but it also accepted other forms of like evil entities. So, but mainly, when the point I'm trying to get at here is when I came up with Stalker completely at random. So I drew like 5. I basically I would submit 5 characters completely at random to my brother, and he would choose one of them to put in his comics, just so that we would have something to do because we were bored at the time. So we kind of gave ourselves like a limit. We're like, okay, we can't create infinite characters, but we need something at least because we're bored. This is what we did for boredom, guys. We didn't play video games or anything. This wasn't even that long ago, but So I kind of like drew 5 random characters. I think I drew this. I think I drew a couple of them. I completely forgot. They're lost of time now because we didn't use them. I have so many characters that I just are unused. And the only bit about I wouldn't make them with lore. I would just draw them completely random. And if I like the way they look, then I like the way they look. But I remember this Stalker being, because I would have to name them as well. So I remember just drawing. I was like, well, I'm just gonna draw this. I have this really weird idea. I'm just gonna draw this guy who's in like a winter coat or like a hat. He's in winter clothes. He's really tall. He's kind of like big. He's not a giant, but he's big. He's like unnaturally big for being a human. And he doesn't have eyes. The feature he has is like a really big like mouth, and it's always grinning. I know that sounds very cringe, but that's just what I came up with at the time. And I was like, well, that's one of my 5 characters. I drew the rest, and then my brother ended up liking it, so he chose it. And then I was like, wow, that's cool. And then I would add him to the recent comics. And the thing with Stalker in the comics, he wasn't just like, he was part of the corporation because they all had to do their job in that big corporation. But the thing with Stalker was you know what his name is, so you know what he did for a living. And he would stare in people's windows without them noticing for hours on end, not even doing anything. And it's not, we don't know if it's out of pleasure or not, but he just does it because that's what he does. And that's why I just made him this mysterious character that would stalk people, because that's his freaking name. And that's his actual name too, is just Stalker. Like, he wasn't given that name. That's just his like actual name. But yeah, that was him. I put him in a lot of comics, and then he would just creep people out, and that's what he was. I think I have comics with him, but again, I'd have to go digging through all of them. But yeah, Stalker was just a cool character I added. He was cool. He literally has no other features on him besides just that grin. So, And then my brother, and then the guy, Gavin, who made the Doomsday Corporation, he eventually started to make lore around my character, which was really cool. So he was the one that started to build lore on Stalker, not me, because I didn't know what the heck to do with that character, or this character I'm currently drawing. And he started making some really cool lore. I don't know what any of it means yet, but again, I have to ask him. But it's weird because, like I said in the previous video, his whole being is like a metaphor for something, and that metaphor is like an old fairy tale on 3, which is the planet we made. So on 3, there's this old fairy tale that it was kind of a creepy fairy tale as well. It was about this. Again, I don't know the fairy tale that I don't even know it, but I know what it contained. So I don't know how the fairy tale went. I just know what it contained, and that's how it's crucial to Stalker's, being. I know there was a prince, there was a prince in the fairy tale, and then there was a tree in the fairy tale, but the tree had a mouth, and then the prince meets up with the tree, and then something happens, and then the prince becomes the smiling prince, and then it's very mysterious. I don't know how the fairy tale went because we just knew that it contained a prince, a smiling tree. The prince meets up with a smiling tree somehow, is kind of magical way. So it's supposed to be like this lighthearted thing where it's like, wow, I'm this prince. I met a smiling tree in the woods. But then it just kind of ends with something weird, like, and then the prince becomes the smiling prince or something. I don't know. I essentially know, but it was something like that. But that's Stalker. That's just that he's kind of like the whole metaphor of that. So again, I don't know Stalker's lore at all. I'm just trying to like theorize. So I'm theorizing my own character. It's so weird. But yeah, that's Stalker. I mean, that's basically what he is. He's just this very he's not known to anything. He just kind of appeared to Doomsday. He was like, hey, I want to be a part of your corporation because you are the biggest corporation. You accept a lot of weird animals and creatures here. You want to accept me? So yeah, he's just this very weird character that I made, and he stuck. he's stuck, but he had no lore whatsoever. So it's weird making a character that sticks, but you can't really do anything with them because, well, I mean, they have no freaking lore. So, but I want to figure out something with this character as well. Um, I don't know. I already solved like Ammo's lore and all that, but I really want to do something with this character. I'm not sure what though. I just know he looks really cool. He's got some weird thing going with him, but I don't know. I just want to see what it is. I definitely know I can make some really cool lore off of him, but I'm just not sure what yet. Maybe I can ask my brother. He's a lot better at it than I am. But yeah, that's basically Stalker. And I'm just drawing him now as with his big coat, and then I'm gonna draw a tree behind him. Because Stalker likes trees. That's another part of him. He's a very woodlandsy guy, but that's due to the fact that in the fairy tale the prince met with a smiling tree. So yeah, we'll figure. I'll figure it out. I guess we will figure it out. Yeah, I'll probably ask my brother more about this because I don't know frick all about it. Again, like I said, when I created the character, I just would slap him in the middle of the comics. He had no lore whatsoever. So my brother was like, "Well, I'm just gonna make lore," and I was like, "Oh, that's fair enough." And I think it went well. But I would just have to ask him again because I'm not sure what the lore is supposed to be, especially if I'm gonna develop this character in our future comics. If we do that, which hopefully we will. Yeah, especially if I'm gonna make new characters and all that, because we have so many series with different groups of creatures or people that would go through these trials and tribulations. Like, by the way, the Corporation of Doomsday and Ammo, the Demon Guy, those are not the only series we created, because we created other groups. Like, that's not the only groups we had on both. There was like tons and tons of other groups that we made comics with. So if like one group got boring to draw with or do comics with, we just started on another. So we had like a whole group of animals called the AIC, and they had a huge ass tree house in the middle of the woods. I know we had the BOG called the Bog, and they're these group of they're actually a band. They're a band of creatures, and they all go through their own trials and tribulations. I had a really, really cool character called Boxhead. Very basic, I know, guys. But Boxhead was one of my characters in the Bog. And basically, the owner of the Bog is this guy named Freddy, and he's this really cool alien-looking guy who has one eyeball. So he has one eyeball that's on a stem on his head. So he's this really goofy character. But he's also this very loving character that loves his band a lot. But he is pretty goofy too. But yeah, when the Bog was created, it wasn't a huge group, not as big as Doomsday. It was very small. Like I said, it's a band, so it wasn't a huge group. I think there was 7 members. There was Freddy, which is that alien guy. There was Moxie, which was an anthroporcupine. There was Boxhead, which is this. I'll explain him maybe in a future video if I draw him. But Boxhead was this guy. He was essentially a human, so he wasn't even allowed in the group. But he passed because I guess Freddy because he passed because of some. Because Freddy had some experiences with him. So he was allowed in due to his trauma. And then there was Duffy. Oh no, yeah, Duffy is this he's a creature that I made called a Medusan, and a Medusan is basically it's like this deserty creature with scales that lives in the more deserty regions of the 3. And they're these creatures that they're called Medusans, so it stands for Medusa, and they have these rags all over their face to cover their eyes, because if they take their rags off and they look at you, obviously turn into stone. They have these bright red eyes that glow very, very bright. So they have to cover themselves in rags, and the Medusans grew so used to it that they actually made their own designs on the rags, so they would draw symbols or eyes on the rags. So Duffy was one of the characters. He was a Medusan. He played in the band as well. What else was there? Uh, there was actually this guy named Red, and Red was just like, because the whole thing with the band is that it was very like unique. Every character was unique, and they were completely different. Um, so Red was just like this a huge Red is literally just like a, a like a weird square two-dimensional. He's literally a second dimensional creature that is in a band. He's literally he's a square with like a square eyes and a square mouth, and his name is Red because he's red, and that's literally all he is. But he's a very eccentric character that plays in the band, and he's very mysterious because he's just like this 2D being. But it's weird because he just plays in a band. So that was a really cool character. That was not mine. That was my brother's. Another character in the band was one of mine. I forgot his name. Uh, actually, I forgot his name. Da, 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 da. Oh damn! I forgot his name. No. Uh, I actually forgot his name. That's crazy. Well, anyways, but he was another custom creature that we made on 3. I forgot what their names were. But they have no eyes, and instead of eyes, they have huge spines coming out of their head. So they have like two, like a spider's pedipalps. So these like long grabby guys. They basically had those instead of eyes, and they're long and forked. But they're very sensitive, so they can use that to see. So that was their own creature. I put him in the band. He was really good at the guitar. Um, but he's also a very interesting character. He was the goofiest character of the whole band. So he was like a troll. He liked to mess around with the whole band. Um, and his main quirks were he gets drunk off of drinking soda, and he likes to crawl around the house completely naked. So that was he was the goofy character in the band. I just forgot his name. And there was another character called not I think it was no, not Thomas. God dang it. It was another human actually. He has a lot of lore as well. So he joins the band. He's like this very shy human guy who doesn't. He's not actually like part of the band, but he's part of the group. So he kind of sticks with them for a while, and then he kind of gets like pulled off away in this secret side mission, where it's revealed that he's not a human, and he goes to this laboratory, where he never knew. He realized he grew up in a laboratory, and it's this whole big lore thing with his parents and all that. And then they finally turn him into what he's really supposed to be because he's missing that final gene, and he turns into this creature, and it's like this happy but also kind of sad moment. But yeah, he's another character. Oh, his name is Nathan. So Nathan the human, quote unquote. And then I think that's all of them. I think there was another one that was a cat. I forgot her name though. Yeah, so you have Freddy, Max, Red, Boxhead, Duffy, Nathan. I forgot the guy with the spines on his eyes. I keep forgetting his name. Oh, Wilbert. Wilbert was the guy with spines on his eyes, or like the fork things. So there's Wilbert, Nathan, which I just mentioned. I think that's it. Oh nope, there was one more. It was Hector, and Hector is an anthro hyena, and he's part of a rock band. Actually, is he? Wait, no, he's not part of it. Wait, no, is he? No, I can't remember. God damn it. Let me think. Let me do some deep, deep, deep thinking. I actually have no idea. No, I don't think he was part of it. No, wait, was he? Oh, I don't know. Maybe he wasn't. But he was basically it's been done before a million times, which is weird because I actually didn't know that. Because when I first created Hector, I didn't know that a lot of people have already done the hyena punk rock aesthetic thing with their characters. So that came to me as a shock when I finally learned. That was like, wow, a lot of people do this. So yeah, he was basically a hyena that did like punk rock, and he was a total jackass as well. So yeah, he was another character. I don't know. I don't think he's part of the band though. But yeah, like I said, um, I'm just trying to say, let's just say that we had a lot of groups with a lot of different characters with a lot of lore. So, and that was another main one was that the bog. Oh yeah, Hector was part of the AIC, which was the animal thing I was talking about. So yeah. All right. Write the letters here. I need like a paper cover or something. Where can I get one of them? I'll just use this here. There we go. Just so I can draw the lettering of his name. But yeah, we had a lot of different groups of things. But yeah, the main ones, which I mentioned in previous videos, are Doomsday. It was Hell House, which again I'm rebranding. And then it was the other ones that my other brother created, but I forgot what most of those were. But yeah, we made a lot of comics. Just what we did out of boredom. But now that I've run out of that tangent, I can talk about my work, I guess, and what I do for a job, or what I've been doing for jobs. Let me just finish this R here. So my first ever, I think because I already mentioned it to my other previous videos, but my first job was like a rental company, this hardware-ish rental company, and my dad just kind of was like, oh, you know, one of my good friends worked there, so maybe we could try that as your first job, and it went well. I worked there for, I think, it wasn't even a year. It was like during the summer, so it was a summer job. Because I went back to school, but it was pretty nice. I worked there. I think it was part time. And all I did there was I kind of learned the computer system. So I helped rent a couple things, but I didn't do it mainly because I didn't want to screw it up. Because I was very dumb back then. I was an idiot, so I did a whole lot. So basically, they had me there as their custodian. So I would do a lot of cleaning and a lot of hardware, like picking up stuff. I didn't do a whole lot of renting out stuff, but that was fine because it was a good experience. My first job ever, so it was pretty nice. And then, so I only had that one for half a year-ish. Not even half a year, I'd say, during the summer. And my second job was a fleet farm, which, it was nice. I think it wasn't the best experience with a job, but also it was the best because I met a lot of my really good friends there. But the main thing about it is that the difference between Walmart and Fleet Farm is that at Fleet Farm, people have a lot more really fucking stupid questions. At Walmart, people kind of know what they're looking for. At Fleet Farm, people will like rip apart their sink, and they'll be like, where's this old? I need to find this exact old part of my sink that's 90 million years old. I'm gonna go to Fleet Farm and ask someone. So they just expect they can find any answer, and they're really dumb. Like the customers at Fleet Farm just think they can find every answer if you ask a worker. Because like, oh, you're the hardware guy. You know everything hardware, right? It's like, no, I don't. I'm just working here for the money, pal. But yeah, that was the main horrible part about Fleet Farm was that there's just so many goddamn questions. Because at Walmart, I barely get asked any questions at Walmart, and when I do, it's like, oh, where's this? I was like, oh, I know where that goes. But at Fleet Farm, it's just like, can you help me find this like 1993 bolt hex thingamabob that I tore out of my asshole in 1987? It's like, what are you talking about? No. Like, first of all, you have Google. Like, just look it up. But that was the main thing I didn't like about Fleet Farm. And that happened a lot, by the way. That was like every day. Every single day. Like, I would get asked a dumb question like that. Another thing that I guess I didn't like was... I could rant about it all day, but I guess this scheduling. They're always asking for backup cashiers, because a lot of them call in. So there's a lot of like young people that work there that just don't give a shit about the job. That's another dumb thing about it. So we'd have a lot of high schoolers that just would quit instantly because they're all dumb. They're just trying to get easy money fast. That was another dumb thing. What other stuff was there? I mean, there's a lot of little things, but they're kind of just petty to talk about. So, well, other than that though, it was a really good first job experience because, like I said, I met a lot of really good friends there. Um, my coworkers were all very nice. Like I said, or as I'm gonna say, my coworkers were amazing. The customers were the bad part. But now that I've worked at Walmart, it's kind of like the exact opposite. So now it's like, oh, my coworkers suck, but the customers are just all right. So it's like, ah. Um, but yeah, oh well. But no, I met a lot of really nice coworkers at Fleet Farm. I'm still chatting with them today. But I think the reason I'm bringing that up now was because since at Walmart I'm working full time, I kind of like did the dumb thing where I was like, well, I'm gonna continue working at Fleet Farm for 1 day a week, just so you know, as of my plan B, and that's kind of screwed me over because now I have no time to like do more of this or do more recording and do other stuff I like. So it's like, god damn it. So tomorrow when I work at Fleet Farm again, which is dumb, but I did that to myself, to be honest. I'm gonna do some eating. Tomorrow, I'm giving my 2 weeks. And it's not in a bad way either. I'm not gonna give my 2 weeks because I hate it there. I just need more time to myself. I just need more days off. I just need more days off. That's just how it is. I'm sorry. So yeah, it'll be sad, but because I do love that place. I really do, but it's time. It's just time to go. You know. Yeah, leave. We gotta do what you gotta do. I need more time to better myself as a human being and to do more cool art and expand my videos more. Because if I really want to get somewhere with these videos, I need more time. So if I have a nice 2 days off instead of just one, I think that'll definitely help me mentally. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that tomorrow. Yeah, it'll be nice. But again, I just have to pull myself to actually do it. Because I hate being rude or whatever, but it's not rude. It's just like, ah. But I have to leave. I've just got to. Because yesterday, when I was at work, I was like, yes, I have one more day until I'm off. And then I was like, oh, wait, I forgot. I worked at another job. And I was really, really sad. That's just another reason why I'm doing that. Because it's like, ah, god damn it. Now I don't have a day off. It's a really big stinker. So it's gonna help me mentally as well. And I really am enjoying working at Walmart. That place is peak. So it's very, very nice. If you can get over your coworkers, that's pretty nice. But yeah, so all the jobs I had. They were all right. I never had like a bad job. Not a job where something extremely bad happened to me or whatever. It's all been pretty relaxed. I know some. I know. I know my. Give me a second. Just gotta finish eating this. I know some people who've had bad experience with the jobs, like really horrible bosses or like just horrible moments that would happen in their job. It's like, wow, I'm glad that I can say that nothing like that has happened. So, for the most part, it's been pretty chill. Especially these past 3 days. It's been very, very chill. but I think that's because I kind of unlocked a new method to just kind of zen, use my zen, align my chakras. No, I'm joking. I'm not that much of white trash to do that. But no, I've just found this way of like just kind of dealing with things, and if I get bitched at by a coworker or whatever, I just ignore them because like, what the hell do you actually want me to say to you? Like, you don't like, what do you want me to say in response to you? So, you know, if you have annoying coworkers that like are just annoying and they're condescending, I think that's just the word I was going for. If you have condescending coworkers that are just complete millennial trash, because I have one of them that's like that. The best thing you can do is to not respond and completely ignore them. And I've been doing that, and it's been working insanely well. And it's working too. So, like again, my coworker will tell me what to do, and it's like, oh, okay, that's good. But if I do anything wrong, she will just like lash out in this very condescending, bitchy millennial way. That's just really hurting. But ever since I've been starting ignoring that kind of stuff, it's just been nice. It's just been like, wow, you know, I'm not gonna give you anything because that's, you want something, don't you? You want something. So I'm not gonna give you it. I'm not gonna give you it. You know, you can tell me what to do and I'll do it, but I'm not gonna talk to you. Like, I don't have to. It's not my job. My job is to do what you tell me, but it's not to talk to you. So, you know. That's just the way I've been going about doing it. It's been working pretty well. This is both going very, very well. So I think my playlist or my song has ended. Stop. Thank you. But yeah, if there's anyone who like watches this and has horrible work experiences with bad coworkers, obviously if your coworker does something bad to you, that's a whole different story. Because then you have to bring it up with people. But I'm not had that, so. But if they are like just slightly, if they're like that person who's like always just condescending and rude, then just ignore them because, you know, that's the best thing you can do. It's only gonna help you to ignore them. It helps a lot more than you think. And when I was actually having a conversation with the person I'm talking about, they're like, well, I don't care what people think of me. And I was like, yeah, I'm sure you don't. I'm sure you don't. And I brought up, and what I said, I was like, you know, that's a good point, because, you know, if you don't care what people think about you, that's like, oh, you know, ignorance equals bliss. And she was like, no, ignorance isn't bliss. It's more of just like, you know, I was like, well, first of all, ignorance is bliss, because ever since I've been started ignoring your bitch ass, I've been pretty blissed, you motherfucker. So, yeah. I think it works, right, guys? That's been working. Ignorance really is just bliss. But I've had this recent thing where it's like, it's kind of like this therapy thing. It's actually got, it was inspired by these books here. I'm not saying I'm a huge, like, Zen guy. I'm really not. But in the book series, it kind of just came up to me randomly one day. I was like, I'm gonna try this. In the book series, the main bad guy in the books is called Mayor Prentice, and the way he can, because in the book series, it's in the world where everyone can hear your thoughts. So everyone can hear each other's thoughts, and it's horrible and it's chaotic. But the mayor, who's the main bad guy, he can control his thoughts so that no one can hear him. And the way he does that is by repeating like things in his head that are very like simple. And one of them is like, I am the circle and the circle is me. That's one of them. Or one of them is just straight up counting to 10. So again, like counting to 10 works. But the one that was the fastest that I decided to do was the circle one. So if I'm stressed at work, I'll just close my eyes and I'll the way that the phrase works is like, you know, it's kind of like revalidating, because it's just saying, you know, don't crash out. You are you, and you are the circle, and the circle is you. The circle is not anyone else. You are the circle. And that's the way it's been helping me a lot. It's just like, close your eyes, picture a circle, and breathe out, and then you don't have to deal with anyone because it doesn't matter because you're you and you don't have to deal with that bullshit. You don't belong to anyone, so it's just really nice. Um, it's been helping me a lot. Well, I mean, I do belong to people, obviously, people I love, but that's another thing. I think if what I'm trying to say is like you don't belong to people who want your attention just so they can be mean to you. Is what I mean. But love is a different story. But yeah, it's been going pretty well. But it's weird that it came from that book series. I was like, wow, this is actually helps. I should do this, and it's been helping. I was like, wow, unpatched method. This is really cool. But yeah, if my bitch ass coworker brings up something like that, I just straight up ignore her now. And it works. It's unpatched. It just does work. Cause the thing is like, what do you want me to say back? Like, what do you want me to say back? Like, what do you actually want me to say back? It's like they want a response, but like, why? Like, why do you want one? Like, what do you want me to say? So it's just like not worth it, you know. And so if it's not worth it, you don't need to say anything. And thus for if you don't say anything, you don't need to accept what they say either. It's like, you know, it's awesome. Again, if they tell you to do something in a nice way, you can just do it because it's your job. I'm not saying you should ignore them. I'm not saying you should ignore everything they say. But again, if it's not a command and it's bitchy, then I ignore it. But if it's a command and it's nice, or if it's a command and it's still bitchy, I'll still do it. But if it's a command, or if it's not a command and it's bitchy, I ignore it. You know, no absolute point in me responding to that. Nothing. Actually, no point. Because like, if what do you want me to like respond to? I think the only thing I'm gonna respond with is something in the exact tone, and then that's just gonna piss you off even more, because you're a millennial, you're a dickhead. So, you know how it is. Gotta love coworkers. By the way, she's also a Swift fan, so absolute coworker music dog trash. I didn't think that shit was real, but people like that exist, and it makes me want to cry. It makes me want to actually cry. So, it exists. It really does exist, and it's so painful. It's so painful. When I first saw coworker music, I was like, okay, I know Taylor Swift is technically coworker music, but surely there's not people who are that much of a fan. And then my fucking millennial coworker is one, and it's like, dear God, this is just absolutely great, isn't it? Did not think that shit was real. It is. It just unfortunately is. I'm not even gonna attempt to say no hate on Taylor Swift because I just don't like her. So, all hate on Taylor Swift. I don't care. Billionaire. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? Don't support the rich. Unless they make really good music. That was a good present. I got one more. Stalker's actually almost done here now I think about it. Yeah, doing the pre-drawings is definitely awesome. It does help a lot. So it does help. And then I'm gonna do some shading here. Yeah, it's funny watching all these like reels or memes about like cringe people online or just cringe people making cringe videos. It's like, wow. I hope there's no way I'm gonna meet someone like that ever. And then when you do, it's just like this moment where it's like, oh my god, people like that are real, and it just becomes like, it's like, holy shit, people like that are real. Oh no. you know. Now, normally I would draw this tree with a smile on it, but it's not in the fairy tale, so like I'm just gonna leave it. It's a lot more creepy with it because it's supposed to be like the resemblance of the tree with a smile, but it's actually just not, which is really cool. You guys can barely see what I'm drawing here. Damn. Whoopsies. Whoopsie. Whoops. I'm shading his pockets a little bit more. There we go, that's a lot better. I'm getting to the phase where I'm locking in. I'm locking in. Yeah, but other than that, it's been pretty chill these last couple of days at work. It's been very, very nice. I think that's due in part to my little therapy thing that I have. So it's nice. Speaking of therapy and all that, not the actual therapy. I've never been to a therapist, but at Walmart in the Christmas area, I saw this like bullshit white woman trash zone where it was like this Zen area. Also, why is it in the Christmas area? It was like this like, oh, here's a foot massager and an incense lighter, and there's also this lamp that does nothing. And then I saw this, and then I saw it was called a 7 chakra thumbstone. It was like this rainbow rock that was you could rub. You can use it. You can use all you do is rub your thumb on it, and it's I don't know what it's supposed to do. Like realign your chakras. Like what is that? Like by the way, chakras aren't even real. I guess some people believe they are, but really, a 7 chakra fruity pebble? What are you gonna do with that? What are you gonna do with that? Yeah, you know how I keep calm at work. I rub I rub my chakra stone. Like what are you talking about? People don't even have pet rocks anymore. They just have freaking chakra pebbles, bro. What is that? I used to have a lot of pet rocks. God damn. People are using chakra stones now. What the hell? Not that I hate women, guys. I love women. It's just like really 7 chakra thumbstone. Okay, I gotta do whatever you like though. I guess. I just very bizarre, very very bizarre. So, you know, incense I understand because that's like you can smell it and that actually makes you feel better. But chakra thumbstone. Okay, I could rub my table and smooth. So you know, just weird. But that made me giggle a lot because I was like, it's literally a gay rock that you can rub, and it's supposed to realign your chakras so you can get testicular torsion. Like, what are you supposed to do with that? Like, I don't understand. Capri-Sun. I mean, I shouldn't be talking, but that shit would not make me any more gay than I already am. But whatever. Yeah, if I rub that rainbow stone, it would become more rainbow. But yeah, just some funny. We also have. It's also the end of the world because we also have AI generated gift bags at Walmart. Like I saw a Santa gift bag, and it was him riding on a motorcycle, and it was so obviously AI generated, and I wanted to cry right there, because I was like, no, $1 billion corporation trying to save 2 cents on AI generated Santa. No, it's over. It's all over. So yeah, actually over. Can't even have artists anymore. But yeah, it's so pathetic. These corporations are spending this much money, and also the new Black Ops 7. That shit is depressing as fuck. So depressing, bro. But like, what can you do? It's just these stupid ass corporations trying to save money. It's so obvious it's AI. It's like they can't even get away with it anymore. So stupid. What can you do? What can you do? I'm shading his hat a little bit here. Hello? What the fuck? No, I don't need to break YouTube. Thank you. Stop pausing. Thank you. But yeah, the world is gonna be all AI in like 10 years. It's gonna be horrible. Artists will be far and I mean they're not gonna be far and few. Artists are still gonna be everywhere, but AI is gonna be more everywhere. Which means brain rot's gonna be everywhere, and then it's like we just gotta see the light in it, right, guys? We gotta see the light at the end of the tunnel. Can't give up hope. Nice, that's pretty good. It's pretty good looking. Let's do some nice shading here around these parts. Try to make it look a little more. I think the shading will make it look a little bit more scary looking. But yeah, I absolutely hate AI, like a lot. Like I really hate it. I really don't like AI. There's been a lot of like not cool. There's been a lot of like horror games. I keep seeing these big YouTubers playing, and it's so obvious that there's some points where they use AI, and it just makes me so sad. I'm just like, oh no, why? This game was like so good until I saw that it had AI in it. It's not even that I'm trying to say like it's so bad. It's just like you're really that fucking lazy, dude. It's like come on. Come on. I really hate AI. I mean, obviously I'm an artist, and all fucking artists hate AI, so I'm sure there's a lot of people who draw and stuff that agree with me here. But I really don't like AI. I don't like it. This is why kind of sticking to Nintendo is kind of cool right now. Cause I don't think they've done anything AI as of recent. At least I could be wrong, but a lot of other like big corporations. Bro, I did not click on that. I'm just checking here. Yeah, Nintendo has not used AI in a while, or I don't think ever. Maybe they have, but like I said, a lot of corporations are turning to it, and it's sad. But oh well. Stalker is almost done here, guys. I'm almost done with this fella. This smart fella fart smeller. Yeah, I really don't like AI whatsoever. Especially that's why I'm glad I'm out of high school as well. It's because I know there's gonna be a lot of fucking broccoli haired football playing dickheads that no nothing against football, but a lot of them turn to football for careers and they don't succeed. Cause they're just like, oh, I'm gonna be a sports guy like every other fucking broccoli haired 6'7" Instagram watching dickbag in high school. It's like, okay, you can't be at least a little bit unique, you dumbass. That's why I'm glad I left. I'm glad that part is. I'm glad I left high school for that reason, but I still do miss it. So I didn't leave high school. I graduated. What am I saying, bro? Bro's just saying words at this point. Man, shut up. Shut up. But yeah, Stalker's almost done. is. Yeah, he's pretty much done. Just gotta make the tree look a little more scratchy looking here. It should be golden. There we go. Looks pretty good. I think I'm almost done with him now. Alright. I'm gonna show him to the camera now. That was a nice short art video. That's kind of what I'm going for anyways, is more shorter videos. And the pre-drawing really does help. But hope you guys like the new background as well. I'm just trying to figure something out, make it look nicer, but there is Stalker. Maybe some side lighting. Or maybe some this lighting. Or just top down. No, that doesn't work. Yeah, that works. There is Stalker and the weird tree behind him. I'll show it in this way now. Just so that fits better on the screen. And then I should do there. There's Stalker. Oof. A free screenshot. Oh. Yeah, I really want to do something with this character. I'm not sure what, but probably in our future comics if we make them. Just introduce him in a weird way and do something with the weird fairy tale that he's kind of about. But again, he's just this mysterious character that he's, I don't know, he's just very big, tall, and that's basically it. So, you know, really cool character, awesome. You know, it was a nicer short video, so it really does help when it's shorter, because then I feel a lot better. I don't have to drink Monster Energy to keep myself awake. I could drink 2 Capri Suns and be golden, you know. But in the next video, art video, I don't know who I'm gonna draw. I could draw Boxhead from the Bog, because he had a lot of lore. He basically had as much lore as Ozzy Wright did. But again, his name is freaking Boxhead, so he also has a very traumatic past. But it's like, that's cringe to even say. So, you know, because it's like, my OC he has a lot of trauma. Like, you guys know what I'm getting at here. It just sounds like, it makes me want to punch myself in the head. But it's just what I did at the time, because I was that bored, and I was not mature enough. But yeah, anyways, I hope you guys liked watching the video. I'll probably be drawing Boxhead or someone else if I feel like drawing that person. Someone that I really want to draw, because I really wanted to draw this guy, and I did. So next video I'll probably do something that I want to draw, or that will have a lot of lore. We'll see. If it's someone I want to draw, they probably won't have any lore. But I can just talk about it something else instead, I guess. But yeah, hope y'all enjoyed watching the Politivity video. See you guys in my next Isaac video. I think I'm going to do another normal Isaac run, because I tried to do a challenge in the last one and died horribly. So I'm thinking I'm just going to do some normal Isaac runs for now, and not try to torture myself even more for no reason. So I'll see you guys in the next Isaac video. Thanks for watching. Do the basic bits. Like and subscribe, or do what the hell you want. See you later. Bye.